Greetings and welcome to a slightly different Alpha Magnus review. Let's see which one this is. One of these is a little fuzzy. There you go. A little better. Today we're going to go over a review of a 3D printed product that I have. I purchased the file for from TOYMAKR3D, no E, .com. I have previously did a review and I got a lot of replies on it. It was for the Godzilla. So this time we're bringing out Kong. I am going to have to raise this up. I'll be darned. There you go. So here's Kong in his glory. This one I actually printed using my Bamboo A1. Just for the most part 2.2 millimeters layer heights. But I did use the adaptive on certain parts that printed the first time a little weird. Head, a couple other things like that. And then I might be redoing this once I get some more transparent blue PTG in. This is my original color for it. I'm going to have to do some cleanup around the edges here still. Nothing terrible. Problem is if you cut them, it just looks the same. So I have to take a hot surface and actually kind of glaze over that. So it's a little more than I want to do. But if you take a look, you can see what I mean. This is because this is where the plate printed out, and I had to have brim on it so that it didn't come apart. I've since fixed my brim issues that I had with this, so whatever, it'll work. So there are a couple parts on here that are just floating, which worry me. But thus far they haven't come out. But I think that's by design. This is, as I said, TOYMAKR3D's model. He has all of his printed out in gray, and I find that to be kind of boring. And I wanted these to kind of all be a Sentai team of kaiju, mecha kaiju, I guess. And Kong is the third of this thing I've done. So I'm going to do a video on the Jet Jaguar as well. So keep an eye out for that. But I feel like Kong needed to be first. So before any of those, let's see if I can get a good shot here so that you can actually see the color versus just reflection of the thing. That's a little better. You know what? It actually looks a little bit better when it's further back. There you go. So that is the figure itself, which is, as I said, it's fully 3D printed. I did paint little spots like here. I think I painted his eyes as well, around the eye up there. And then his bottom teeth, for some reason, he had with the jaw, but the top I made gold. I wanted to add a little bit of flair to this character versus just going straight as he had it. So you can see let's actually do this there. So if you look, it's like a purple eyes, clear purple eyes with the gold accents. Most of the gold is just in the joint, like here. We got a little bit underneath the arm. The one problem with these figures, and I will put it out there, that some people don't like, is that they are 3D printed, so they are not going to be as tight as, let's say, a regular ABS figure. If you wanted to, you could probably mess with tolerances and actually print this out in ABS, but it will never be as sturdy, and it will never be as strong. I guess sturdy and strong are the same word. I'm trying to think of another word for it. Tight, maybe? I don't know. As a fully ABS thing would be. ABS is the kind of plastic that you would purchase if you had literally any action figure. Is almost all of them are ABS plastic. This is done with Bamboo Labs. I believe this is their Galaxy, or is this is Sparkle. This is their Sparkle PLA. Galaxy has green in it as well, but this is a mostly purple thing. I do plan on doing a Space Godzilla using the same filament for parts, as well as purple silk PLA. PLA is fine when you're using most of these parts. Every once in a while you have to use PETG or ABS, and they kind of tell you in the things what you need to be looking out for. He does have a couple other features that are pretty nice. So if you lift this piece up, you can pop this down. Let me see if I got my handy dandy spudger. I do have some issues with some tolerances here, so this pops out and you can kind of make that as like a gun type thing. It is what it is. This I appreciate that they exist, because this is mostly for if you have them in quadruped mode. So let's take this out. This is his axe that he made. As I said, I'm probably going to be making a different axe head that looks more like the one from Godzilla vs. Kong. This was based off of that. So you got full bend here. And if this is too loose, you just have to tighten this up. He does give you a little tool to do that. But this is what's floating around. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. But it's not terrible. It's just for articulation's sake. You can fully get it over there. He does have articulated hands. One of my big issues with the TOYMAKR 3D things is that their hands need a little bit of tweaking to get the tolerances right, and that's kind of your problem to do, not theirs. There's also a little bit of limitation on the shoulders, but not terrible. They put a little thing there for stability, because if you didn't have that, you'd probably break this in about 2 seconds. So, and I will be doing a video for people who do have these figures already, if they want to tighten some joints up. Because if you notice here, this is pretty loose, and there is a way to tighten it up. Takes a little bit of A, know-how, and B, this stuff actually. Liquid tape. So we'll go over that in a later video. Let's bend them over. So there are ways to get this to look a little bit better too. That might be too tight. See, this part's PETG, so it doesn't break. And I forgot there is a little stands that you can print out for these, which I have yet to do at all. So here's quadruped mode, and that's where you can put. He does give you blast effects. I got a little box of stuff here. These are just the ones that I printed out for my Mecha Godzilla using pink. And it goes right there. Ta-da! All that for that. That's for the love of the review. Now, I do have to clean him up still, but for the most part, he is done. I will probably never have him in quadruped mode. I am doing some remixes of this. Look at that. Got to glue some more. So that's the other thing. Even if you do print this out, you do have to glue them. So I got to figure out what to do with my glue. And then what ends up happening is throughout time, you'll realize, crap, I should have put more glue there. This is the part I was talking about earlier that's loose, that kind of bugs me. But if you don't have it loose, you lose a chunk of articulation. So I just left it loose. All right. Let's put some glue on here. This print is probably 2 or 3 months old now. I just haven't had a time to do a full review like I wanted to, and today is the day. So whenever you have a loose joint, so you see how this ankle's a little loose here, you just kind of take this and you click it like that, and now it's much tighter. Actually, you know what, we're going to have to do this one too. And then hopefully this glue set's quick enough. Usually just regular super glue works. I used super glue gel for most of this. Super glue gel takes a longer time to set, unless you have some sort of what do you call it, catalyst that'll bond it faster for the most part. But yeah, it's okay. All right. So there's Kong. Let's get Godzilla back out here so that you can see the ridiculousness. So I do recommend, if you're going to go in on these, first off, tell them I sent you, because I don't have like a code or anything to give you, but I highly recommend these. You're not supposed to sell these, although you can get like 3D printed models of these on AliExpress and stuff. But if you're going to do that, find someone you know and buy it off of them, because then you'll know the quality. I'm not too sure what the AliExpress ones and stuff are going to give you, because I've seen people get AliExpress stuff and it is one wall. I print these in 3 walls, so the outside of this has 3 walls. Infill doesn't really matter as much, but like, it's a solid figure. It's not too heavy because I didn't go crazy on the infill. That's the space in between the inner wall and outer walls of the thing. But yes, I've seen some of these where people get them and they are just trash. So buyer beware on that. You are supposed to purchase the file from him. I have a rule where if you want me to print one of these out, you have to go to his website and purchase the file, then send me the file. And I will print it. So he does get his money. I am not trying to rob anybody of their hard work. This guy's a genius, and I want him to do more. It's actually been a while since he's released one of these ones. The Mecha Monsters, I guess is what they call them. I'm trying to find a good... That's actually pretty decent, too. That looks cool. It's hard to see this color. That leg is going to drive me nuts. But it's a sparkly purple. So I don't want to take any money off of his plate there. And he does say you're not supposed to print them out. But I consider someone purchasing the file and then paying me additional to print it out is acceptable, because that's someone buying your license. I'm just using their license to print it. So don't be a douchebag. Support your creators. Let's get Godzilla out here. This one I did do in a previous video. I will attempt to link to that. I'm kind of terrible when it comes to that. So here's Godzilla. Good God, he is huge. So the comparison between the two, Kong is much, much smaller. This is an original design of this guy's resin. I can't remember how you say his name now, but he that might have locked up. There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. That's the other thing with 3D printed things. You want to get a good clear coat on these before too long. So once summer hits here, which we're at spring, it's still a little bit too humid. Once summer hits, I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to clear coat the hell out of all of this, because PLA in particular, as well as PETG plastics, they will expand and they absorb moisture. So you'll have it there for 6 months and it'll be fine. Then all of a sudden, one of these lines might start cracking, or it might puff up too big and then you can't move it. Who knows what it's going to do, because different altitudes and different things affect them all differently. This guy I actually printed out as the Godzilla vs. Kong 2, I believe. Yeah. Pink mode, where he's got the pink lasers. I thought that was freaking awesome, so I went with that. But you can print these colors out in anything that you want. This is printed pretty much 1-to-1 to what he recommends. I think he had probably red for this part, and I just changed that. Kong, I changed the heck out of everything. I have 2 more coming off of Kong, and then, as I said, I'm going to do a model of Space Godzilla using this. So Space Godzilla is going to be a completely different color of purple than you see here, mixed up with that and some other things. Because I really love Space Godzilla, and damn it, I just want that figure. I love these. These are great. Please support your creators. He's from like the Philippines. He's not even local to me. So let's go over articulation, and then we'll be done. So he does have a waist swivel here. Everything kind of just does like a 1/3, but that's all you need when it comes to a robot. His head swivels around pretty good. You do have the jaw that opens up, and there is a port for a laser unit there. This head is a little bit loose, and actually, while we got this here, let me see if I can pop this off. So you see this part's loose too. I'm not going to be able to do that with this attached, so we'll have to figure that out. But anyway, you do have this, which you can tighten with these. Your leg, as I showed you before, there's that. He does have foot and toe articulation, even the thumb toe. I don't know what that's considered on a great ape like that. This arm swings around, twists and turns. This is also cool because this comes up so that you can get a little more articulation out of that without losing the sculpt. That comes up. Hand twists pretty much, I think, all the way around. Yeah. And then, as I said before, you do get full finger, so 2 joints on each, plus a thumb to boot. The thumb does spin around, but mine looks to be... No, there. That's as much as you get, is that. It's a pretty awesome figure. And I'm just going to go over this now, since I got to do it with this anyway. With this liquid tape, I got this... Shake it up. I got this at Harbor Freight. This is meant to go on your tools when your tool loses its handle. But what I've found is it does not react with any of this stuff badly. It's literally just like a silicone tape that goes on here. So watch, because this is pretty thick, but this should be okay. When it comes to other size joints, you may want to use like a smaller paintbrush. It does stink a little bit, but it's not terrible. And then I just gave it a little coat in there, and then when I put it on here, it's going to be perfect. So you'll want it to sit for at least 10 to 20 minutes. I'm just probably going to leave it for a full day. Make sure it's nice and locked on there, and you're good. Because if you actually put it on now, it could actually fuse wrong. And I do always recommend doing the joint, not the ball, because the ball sometimes will it'll fray off, where if you do the joint, it just spins around freely. I don't know why, but it works super well that way. And there's other things you can do as well. So if you like, his jaw is pretty loose, and if I put some right there and there, I'll need a smaller paintbrush, of course. It'll tighten it up. You can also use I don't recommend super glue because that would be bad, but you can use floor polish, and it'll get in there and tighten it up. But this one's really loose, so I don't know if floor polish would even work on that. I can give you a good shot at the head. Just got to do some cleaning up on him, and he is perfect. If you got any questions, please leave them below. I am also going to do probably do a live build on one of these days. So give me a follow if you want to see that. The problem with these live builds is he didn't take too long. He took forever. The next one I do, show you, actually probably going to be, yeah, we'll do Jet Jaguar next. He didn't take too long, but the Gamera, my God, that took me 6 hours, maybe more. So I can't do a live stream that long. It's crazy. So just keep an eye out. If you did like this, please like, subscribe, comment. Till next time, I'm Alpha Magnus. These are toys.